All right, here we are, August 4th. Time for an update on the cruiser, on the Dirty Bird. So, motor still in, obviously. The last week or so, I've managed to get some hoses figured out. These are two separate hoses. Obviously, they've got a union in the middle, which also has a NPT fitting for the steam port. The bottom one is essentially a big U, along with a 90 that also has a union in it. The heater hose is figured out. There are way too many clamps on there, but that's what I needed between the 5/8 and the 3/4 inch hose, which goes into the bypass for the LS, which this is all 3/4, so there's a bunch of unions, and then obviously it goes up over there. What else? I'm doing little things along the way, like painting the battery tray. Got everything in the cooling systems hooked up. I just pretty much have to fill it, or the one hose I need to grab is from here to there for the overflow. The computer and everything. I got a fancy GM parts base for it, but still need to mount it. Need to clean up this wiring a bit as well, mostly just shorten some of the wires. They're pretty much all going where they're supposed to. They just need to get, cleaned up and not in a big pile. Brakes are bled for the most part. I last minute, after bleeding the brakes, ended up having to take off one of the brake lines for routing the transmission cooler lines. So I'll have to re-bleed the brakes. Got the tranny cooler hooked up today. Lines run out. They go down and go to I actually have the metal lines from the Avalanche coming out of the transmission going along the frame here. It's hard to see from right here, but right down there by where the steering linkage is, that's one of them. And then they turn to rubber lines right there and go underneath the radiator along the power steering cooler over to that side and come out front. Super happy with how that turned out. Didn't have to drill any holes. Just had to reroute this line from the condenser. This now goes in front of the little piece here, the core support, but it does not interfere with the grill on here. Obviously need to hook these back up as well. Oh man, what else here? That's mostly it. The engine will run right now. It's just that it needs coolant. It needs a battery in it. And also I just need to, main thing is, the last thing I'm kind of waiting on is, or the last thing I'm planning on doing is finishing up the wiring. I got the shifter all installed, the low car shifter. I got the shortest one, I believe the 12-inch. It is floor mounted, so it's got the cable going down. It's adjusted all the way back, and so when it's in park, it sits pretty darn close to the dash. I might put some spacers underneath the front of the shifter base down here on the bottom, and that'll tilt the whole thing back a little bit more. So, and I made room in the floor, my slice in the floor for the shifter goes through. I made that big enough to where I could have the adjustment. Transfer case shifter is also in place. Had to do a little bend on that one, heat it up twice in two places and get that positioned. The front seats are bolted back in. The driver's seat is bolted back in. The passenger seat is not. I think the front two bolts are in, but that is it. And then the last big update would also be let's see if I can get the light on here. Oh, you can't see it. Well, the gas pedal's down there. I just don't have a light to show it.